With more than 4,000 varieties, Peru is the country that gave the world the potato. It is also among the first countries in the Americas to grow maize. But the Andean nation, whose ancient civilizations also gave the world the tomato and quinoa, is now teetering on the brink of a food crisis.
It is paradoxical that having been the cradle of such an important crop as the potato, which saved Europe from famine in previous centuries, now our production is lower and above all our consumption is lower. We know that a Dutch family consumes more kilos of potatoes per year than a Peruvian family.
Despite its rich array of endemic food crops, Peru is heavily reliant on imported foodstuffs. The conflict in Ukraine has triggered a ripple effect of global inflation. That means many of the products which are key to Peru's modern diet are scarcer and more expensive. That includes cooking oil and yellow corn used to feed chickens, which are the principal source of animal protein in the country. Peru also imports a staggering 90% plus of its wheat to make bread, pasta and biscuits. At the same time, the country's agro-exports business is reporting record profits, nearly $10 billion last year. But while Peru is a top exporter of blueberries, asparagus and avocados, the local market has been neglected, say experts.
We've been importing cheap and subsidized food for a long time. In fact, we have to start betting more on domestic food production. We are big potato producers, but potato farmers are very poor. They're paid very little for their produce.
Last year, the UN's Food and Agricultural Organization said more than half of Peru's population faced at least a medium risk of food insecurity. That's 16.6 million Peruvians, compared to 8 million before the COVID-19 pandemic. The reliance on imported food products has only aggravated existing rates of malnutrition and anemia, the latter of which affects almost half of under fives in rural areas. But it also creates other health problems.
Just as we have serious problems with malnutrition and anemia in Peru, we are also having serious problems of overweight and obesity in adults and young people. This is because of junk food, consuming more rice, more wheat, etc., leaving behind our crops and other healthier products.
A shortage of imported fertilizer in 2022 is expected to curtail this year's harvest, which could, in turn, push food prices up even more. Dan Collins, CGTN, Lima.